Alright everybody, it's rally time. So I'm going to find out, have you all been rally paying attention from all the other videos up to this one? So I want you to be able to tell me what is different about this truck. Should I tell y'all? There's outside. And inside. Any guesses yet? Alright, I'm going to pinpoint each part, and then I'm going to wait to see in the comments if you can tell me what's changed. But I will give you some hints. I'll give you some pinpointing, okay? I've got to tell y'all. So I went from the 2.2 tires to the 2.8, same as the Slash. I put some higher post in the front to raise up the body. Little bit had to be trimmed off down here to make it to where the tires wouldn't hit. Of course, some minimal trimming to the body had to occur. I made some vent holes in the front where the electronic could get some air. I put some turnbuckles on the rear to make it to where the tires are straight because it was wearing the inside of the tires horribly. Put Traxxas heat sink on there, Arma fan. That's held in with heats into the heat sink with sheet metal screws. Got rid of the Power Hobbies fan, went with the Arma fan on the inside of it. The only thing the sheet metal screws that are doing to this is it's holding in the top cover. And then the zip tie is running through like so to hold the fan to the ESC. So let's see, post, trim, turnbuckles, tires, heatsink, fan, fan. And we're still running this 3S. Gearing, which is in there, is going to be at a 10 over 54 because larger tires. We were running 1354, but larger tires. So from the run video that you see, it was running about 129 over 116, meaning 129 over 116. And I've already run this already a couple of times, and the gearing being bumped down to a 10 is still running like 129, 130 over 116, 117. So you've got to gear it down. So I wanted to rally play around, and that's what I did. Let's make some runs with this. Oh yeah, and the next upgrade is going to be sway bars. Get some more stability. There's your part number, guys. All right, let's do runs with this thing. And of course, I'll probably have a lot of people go, well, why did you gear it down? It's going to make it slower. No, it's not. So, in theory, what you've got going on here is you've got the 2.2 tires on this, right? So, you got to consider a 2.2 to a 2.8 is a pretty big difference. Oh. And that's why we're putting sway bar lengths on it. So, you got to consider the 2.2 to the 2.8 is really, really big in difference in size. So, with that being said, you've got to compensate somewhere. You're going to overheat those electronics. So if you're going to leave it rally stock, well, I should say Rally stock, because we've changed a lot of things from Rally stock. But if you're going to go from the 2.2 tires to the 2.8 tires, you've got to switch that gearing. You've got to go down. And I tested every single one, just to let you all know. I tested it with running it as a 13 over 54 with the 2.8 tires. And the temperature on it got up to about 200 on the motor. And 150, I want to say 156 on the ESC, and it did go into overheat protect mode. I ran it as a 12. It kind of umbrellaed and stayed right where it needed to be. It was at like the cusp of 200 on the motor and about 143 on the ESC, which is right at its cutoff, because I believe these cut off at 145 on the Valenians. And I went for, like I said, all the different ones, and 10 is a happy medium. And of course, it does tell you in the Traxxas book that you're going to have to do some modifications to the cap, remove the cap, which is not the case, because a 10 over 54 is basically the max before that cap starts hitting onto the chassis, and that's about it. And believe it or not, it gives it kind of a good gear mesh in a way for preset, because you slap that 1054 in there with how I've got that motor sitting, and you push it all the way down to where it can't move anymore and bolt it down, and that gear mesh is set perfect. So there is no speed change whatsoever from the original 1354 to the 10 over 54 with running the 2.8 tires, because you got to consider, like I said, that gearing is what's going to change everything up for y'all. So you have to go down in that gearing, at least with the Valenian system, to make it work out. Because if you don't, you're going to have, as we call it, a South Texas barbecue, not a South Texas RC. So we're going to go ahead and run this. Looks like I'm about 7 minutes in about running my flap. So I might put you on a slight commercial break pause. That way I'm not boring you all to death with just running back and forth and talking. But as you see, the speeds are staying the same. Traxxas guarantees, like on the Traxxas Slash, because we've geared this the same as the Traxxas Slash, and with the tires the Traxxas Slash, the 13 over 54 will permit a 45 mile per hour. And I've already checked the speeds on this, and we're running a pretty good amount of speed. I have to go back and look because I've done 2 speed readings. Let me get this truck parked for my neighbor. Hang on 1 second. Let's do some long hauls down the street. So the 13 over 54 gearing was running around about 38 miles per hour. Sometimes 37, 38, I want to say. And then changing it out to the 2.8 tires and the 10 over 54, we're still running 37 miles. It's like 37.5. So be fair, let's call it 37 miles per hour is what we're running on this by being geared 10 over 54 with the 2.8 tires. So the next major question is going to be heat. Is it going to maintain heat-wise? Well, of course, on hard pavement, we're going to find out what it can do on hard pavement. Of course, you want to increase the temps, because if you're going to run it on dirt, then you want to find out what that increase is going to be. So I always say it's about a 5-degree increase from dirt to pavement. And I want to say Traxxas says don't go past 200 degrees on their motor. A lot of other places say don't go past 170 degrees on their motor. Traxxas ESC caps it, I want to say 145. Other competitor models cap it like 200 and something degrees. But yeah, there's no performance change. Of course, the body, you probably heard that clack, clack, clack. The body shifts a little bit, and it does drag somewhat, but not horribly because the tire does bounce back just a little bit. Might trim just a hair more to get that to go away. But yeah, as you can see, there's no performance change whatsoever. Now, the only performance change that we have is that we're not dragging that front end on everything like we were because we've raised up the body. So I'm going to put you all on a quick commercial break. That way the video's not too long. And we'll do some temp checks on this and see where we sit. But yeah, I said speed-wise does not change at all. At all. We've just basically raised up the vehicle to take on some better terrain. And let's do a few more ramps. Of course, it's not a perfect ramp, but yeah, definitely want to put those sway bars on. It's going to help that body roll issue. But yeah, if you really want to fool around with your Rally and give it some more off-road stance, those are going to be your specs. It's going to be trim the body up on it. Run it 10/54 on the gearing, 2.8 tires. Raise up those front posts, raise up those rear posts. Of course, like you see, I've got the ones that are Pro-Line, the screw caps in the front and clips in the rear. I'm going to make a visit to my local hobby store tomorrow and see what I can find in Pro-Line kits, get caps all the way around. That would be nice instead of using clips. So basically what we've got here is we have got a Traxxas Rally set up as a Traxxas Slash, because that's basically what it is, with a Rally body, giant turtle. And it's got shorter arms. I think the chassis number is different. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it said the chassis was a different chassis number. I have to look that up again and make sure. But it does carry shorter arms. And of course, shorter toe lengths and shorter camber lengths on it, of course, because it has shorter arms. So the Rally is basically a Slash with just shorter arms. So we Rally sized it by putting Slash tires on it and some Slash gearing for the Valenian system. Now, of course, I won't speak of it, but I'll say that if I put some competitor electronics in here, we probably will go faster than this. Just saying. But in all honesty, with the way the body, like I said, is a giant turtle, and Rally is really supposed to be Rally off-road, the Valenian system seems to be sufficient for this. So I would say rock the Valenian system with the 2.8 tires and the way we've got this set up, because it's going to do great off-road. It really is. As an off-road truck, this thing's not going to disappoint at all. On pavement, yeah, it's a little bit slower than its competitor, counterparts, but it's a Rally a lot faster than it was out of the box. I put it to you all that way. Do some Rally burns in the dirt. Alright, so let me put you on a quick pause break. Let me run this thing. I don't want to waste time on the video, and let's see what we get on temps. Alright, I'll see y'all back in 5 minutes. I lied, I'm going to run and talk at the same time. Well, at least part of it. So, I've got a Traxxas Slash. Not saying this is the way to go. But I did put the Spectrum electronics in it. And I only used, I believe, on that one is an 85 amp ESC, just the smaller one. And a 3200 kV motor. And I've got that geared 15 over 54. And it's a little bit faster than this Rally. Not saying that's the direction to go, but I've never had any overheat issues. And this one here, I wanted to keep this one pretty well true blue. You know, 100% Traxxas. I didn't want to alter anything from the Traxxas platform, because that's why I'm sticking to Traxxas sizes and Traxxas parts. So the Slash is a wee tad faster with aftermarket electronics, and you can gear it differently and not have to worry about the temps. In this case here, like I said, I had to gear this one down to a 10 over 54. So that way you know what you're looking for. 10 over 54, 10, 54, 2.8 tires. And this is the performance that you'll get out of this car. Which is not bad. It's rally fun. It really is. It's rally fun. And it's fast enough because a Rally is a dirt track car. So doing pavement test on this is pretty well good and abusive to it to find out what we're doing gearing wise and where we need to be. Now, of course, I can probably have some people out there that'll say, well, you know what, I've got a Traxxas Slash, I'm just going to turn it into a Rally. Okay, well, go for it. You're going to need the front bumper. You're going to need the whole front bumper assembly. You're going to need to get those Pro-Line posts to the front to raise it up. You're going to need to get the 2.8 tires. You're going to need to get the gearing for it. You need to get the shorter arms. You need the shorter tie rods and the shorter toe links to make it all work out. So to convert a Slash, you are going to have to put some money into it to change out to the shorter ones to make it fit. Can't say, oh, well, let's leave the longer ones. No, it's not going to work. You're going to have to put the shorter ones to fit the body. And that's why we had to do a little modification to the body to run the 2.8 tires on this. And of course, a little mods to the front bumper solid plastic part on the bottom because the tires were hitting. But I'm going to say for the Valenian system, 10 over 54, 3S, slight mods that we did to it, well worth it. I'm loving it. I think it's good. I don't think I'm going to change anything else about it. I'm liking it. So, like I said, I'm going to put you on a little bit of a commercial break. That way we don't run like a 2-hour video here. But I've pretty well given you all the specs of everything that you have to do to Rallyfy and Rally size. So, the last thing to check is going to be those temps. So, let me put you on a quick commercial break. And I'm going to run this thing like a rally animal. And then we'll do that temp check. Alright, so I set my timer. We're already 6 minutes in to Rally abusing this thing. Getting some good body rolls. Lands on its feet though. Landed on its feet then too. Sway bar links are going to make it way better. This performance without the sway bar links is pretty good. Make one more long haul pass and then we'll check those temps. All right, temp time. Go in the front of the motor. 130. Heat sink, 140. Heat sink on the ESC, 119. Wires, 127. Straight down, 109. Straight down, 142. Go up under the motor. 131, straight into the ESC, 116. So if you're going to run the Rally as a 3S, and of course I'm running a bigger battery than Traxxas, I'm running a 7600 75 DC discharge. The battery temp, I know people are going to want the battery temp, 127, yeah, 122, 127, 122, 122. So 122 on the battery. We know we're running about 130 on the motor and about 116 on the ESCs. So with that being said, 10 over 54, 3S, 2.8 tires. Do this setup. You're going to be absolutely perfect. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. You want to see some dirt action? Let me take it out back to the track. I think we've run out of battery life, everybody. Yep. Yep, that's low volt. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. Acts like that's overheat. But, I don't know. Could be low volt. Could be overheat. But of course, Traxxas electronics like to trigger quicker than they should. But yeah, it's 105. 105, 107, 106. .103, so yeah, I think it's low volt. Let me make sure though. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I unplugged it and plugged it back in. That's definitely got to be low volt. Yeah, it's got to be low volt. We've run the Rally out of this thing. So, yeah, that's low volt. So it looks like, in all, the best thing to do with the Rally, if you Rally want to mix it up with the larger tires, is go with that setup. You're going to need the turnbuckles in the rear for the camber, to where you're not eating up the tires. And of course, let's just start all over from the let's start from the rear end of the truck. So you need to raise this up about 5 holes. And then you're going to need to do the camber link. I did the gray axles and I cut them down to make them fit for the appropriate size. You'll see those in the other videos. And then of course I got rid of the real thin links in the front. I put some heavy duties. And of course, same thing, gray axles in the front, shortened them. On the front bars, I haven't changed those yet, but I did move them 1 hole down, which put them out a little bit further. So it set that camber straight. Let's see, what am I missing? Changed out the slipper clutch to the normal standard slipper clutch, comes in the slash. You'll see those in the other videos. We got it geared 11/54. We got the Traxxas heat sink. We got the Arma fans. I showed you how to put this on. Trimming that had to be done underneath where the tires wouldn't hit. Trimming to the body. Am I missing anything? Let me unplug this real quick. Hang on. I don't think I'm missing anything. 2.8 tires, turnbuckle, axles, gearing, 10/54. Oh yeah, we did get rid of that plastic, looks like a lawnmower now after being back here. We got rid of that plastic drive shaft, and that's going to be the drive shaft, or center shaft, I should say. The front already comes with the, no, wait a minute. The rear comes with the splines. The front doesn't. So you have to get the splined piece to fit on the front diff. I changed the shock oil weight to 40 shock oil. I did put the aluminum caps on the shocks. Man, am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything for y'all. I think that is really about it, or should I say Rally about it, for everything on this truck. And I said, of course, the light, of course I thought, hey, overheat. No, it's just low volt. So I think we've covered it all from front to back. It's really fast. It's really fun, or should I say Rally fast, Rally fun. So if I wanted to make a 100% bulletproof on this and maybe gear it really stupid, like back to a 13/54, maybe put some Spectrum electronics in here. Tomorrow's Father's Day, so let's see what you all say, what the viewers say tonight. Should I ask for a Father's Day gift of Spectrum electronics? to make it rally, or do we keep it just the way we have it? I'm digging it just the way we have it. All right, viewers, let me know. Until next time, this is James from South Texas RC and BRB Racing, and I am out.